What is up, everybody? How are you doing? So, you may have missed a whole ranking video that I did on the House of Cremo, and I ranked all of the scents from worst to best. But that was from August 31st of 2023. And so now we're in 2025, and I was thinking to myself, looking over that video, my scent has definitely changed, and a lot of those scents that I ranked higher are lower, and some of the lower ranked scents are now higher. And in that video, there was only 16 scents at the time, and they released a new one in 2025, so I just thought it was worth a re-rank. Starting off at 17 in the dead last category is bourbon vanilla. To me, this is the most disgusting scent from Cremo. All the notes are fighting each other the whole time. You have this overly aged woody note that somehow makes the vanilla in this scent smell fermented and animalic. And then you just have way too many spices in this scent, dominating a lot of the other notes. And to me, it kind of reminds me of the smell of Tiger Balm, which is this spiced pain ointment. Very heavy on the clove. And to me, this is just not something I would ever reach for. The overly aged note, nah, not digging it. That's why, for me, it is dead last. Coming in at number 16, Heritage Red. Personally, this one for me is overly sweet. There's this amber note in the scent that is just giving it this overly fake, synthetic, bubblegummy-like sweetness that makes the scent, for me, lean a little more feminine than I'd like it to. And just like the bourbon and vanilla, there is just a lot of dominant spices like the clove, cinnamon, and other things that just do not mix well with this. Personally, I feel like this could pass as like a smell of a candle or some sort of car freshener rather than a cologne. And to me, this is why it ranks very low on my list. Coming in at number 15, Citrus and Mint Leaf. So this one isn't a bad scent at all, it's just very generic. It's called Citrus and Mint Leaf, but all you get from it is the citrus, and that'll be a reoccurring pattern throughout some of the others in this list. But this one is just so basic, and for me, it does not really seem like something I'd grab for. The longevity and projection is just not there as well. At number 14, this one was released in 2025 of this year, and it is Italian Bergamot. And I'm going to be honest with you. So this one is just like the Citrus and Mint Leaf, where the notes it was supposed to have were all dominated by the one citrus note in this scent. All you get from it is bergamot, but it really just smells like that same citron note that they were using in all the other ones, and not specifically a bergamot note. Also, it smells nothing like the body wash. Had they simply just taken the fragrance oil from the body wash and mixed it with an ethanol solution, you would have had a 1-to-1 that would have smelled exactly like the body wash, like much of their other fragrances. This one is the least accurate compared to the body wash and is very underwhelming of a release. It is practically just the citrus and mint leaf, but with a woodier aftertone. That's all it really has. Again, same projection and longevity, not worth it. At number 13, Bergamot and Musk. So this one is Cremo's version of Creed Aventus. And, you do get the black currant. You do get a little bit of that bergamot with the pineapple. And this one is actually where we start to get some scent variety going on. Now, unfortunately, there are some impurities in this scent, oddly enough. So that's a little bit iffy. But this is when we do start getting into a better direction. Unfortunately, this DNA has been copied a lot. A lot of people have made so many dupes and impressions of Creed Aventus that this is something that's going to get lost within all of those. You'll definitely find better versions to where it's a bit redundant to have this one, but it is definitely better than those other citrusy ones. At number 12, Iced Citron and Driftwood. I like this one because it takes that dominant citron note, but it also has the other components of the scent as well, so that you're not just getting that citrus. I'll admit there is no iced accord. It's not like mentholated or like super minty or anything. But personally, you do get a little bit of that driftwood within the middle to end of the scent. You get towards the end this musky aquatic. And through the first half and the middle, you get a lot of those dominant citruses. But to me, this is actually a good reach on a hot summer day and has a little bit more variety to it than the Italian bergamot and citrus and mint leaf. Although they smell pretty similar, I'd say this one does it the best. Number 11, bourbon and oak. So this is bourbon and vanilla, but a way better version. It's way more wearable. It's not as aged, not as spiced. This version is more woody. There's no vanilla in here. And there's a nice, smooth, leathery kind of suede note that is very unique in this scent when paired with that oak wood. I also like how there's no animalic like note here. This is just strictly from the suede. Ah man, this one is a way better version of bourbon and vanilla. For me, it takes number 11. Coming in at number 10, salt, water, and cypress. Now, I got to give it to Cremo on this one because I feel like with this scent, they really tried to venture out and do their own thing. And you do get what they say you're going to get here. You do get that saltwater accord, which does have this salty, minerally, seaweedy, aquatic-like accord. And then you get the bright, fresh sweetness from a mango note. There is a very fresh mango that to me smells very accurate, smells very real, much like a real mango. And that's what really draws me into this scent. It does have a little bit of a soapiness as well as a woodiness. And I love that bit of woodiness with the salty aquatic accord. The mango brightens and freshens it up. And for me, this is a good reach on a hot summer day. It really is. I think it's a unique scent that has not been done before. But unfortunately, you cannot find it anymore. On the Cremo website, they got rid of this one. At number 9, spring water and fir. So I'm pretty sure this one is discontinued as well, and I don't know if you can find it on the Cremo website, maybe not, but this one is very, very, very spearmint heavy, to the point where it's super cooling smelling to me. It almost has like a menthol-like vibe and has more of a right to call itself iced than the iced citron and driftwood because of how cool of a scent this is. I feel like it does have a bit of like a medicinal quality because of the fir. There's a bit of a pine and spearmint mixture here. A lot of woodiness, but a lot of peppermint. There's just a lot of fresh spearmint, like peppermint. And I think on a hot summer day, this is just another really good reach. I like the smell of the sillage when you walk by. It's very strong as well. This one does last quite a while on my skin, and it just does have this like medicinal, pepperminty like quality to it that I quite like. I like the cooling sensation that you get from this scent. Unfortunately, it's not really around. It's very hard to find. So you may have problems getting a bottle of this. You might find one on eBay, which is where I found this one. But yeah, it's practically impossible to find now. At number 8, Hemp and Golden Amber. Now, in my old listing, I think this one was a lot lower on the listing, but I've gotten to really appreciate it over time, and I've gotten to understand that this is like a way better version of the Heritage Red. It does take that ambery like sweetness, but it takes it in a better direction. Instead of just throwing a crap ton of spices in there, there's these fresh green notes. There's like a bit of like a ginger popping out through here. It has this sweet resinous like vibe with that ginger. It's just very bright green, fresh, ambery, resinous. To me, it kind of does have a little bit of a comparison to that Bad Boy fragrance, which I was hearing a lot of people say. And this one is just like a dumb good reach. It's a dumb good reach. It's a way better version of the Heritage Red. Smells very good in my personal opinion, and that's why it ranks a lot higher on this list. Coming in at number 7, Sandalwood and Suede. So this one is just a very beautiful suede leathery scent with a little bit of like a fig leaf note that's giving it this nice bright green note, and also giving it a little bit of like a fruitiness. The sandalwood has a bit of a creaminess, not as creamy as a normal sandalwood, but it does have a little bit of that. It does have a little bit of a powderiness as well. It is quite woodsy, of course, from the sandalwood. And everything just kind of goes well together scent-wise. Unfortunately, this one and the Hemp and Golden Amber kind of have performance issues. I feel like I can't really get 4 hours out of the scent, I feel. But this one is a really, really good scent. And depending on my mood, Hemp and Golden Amber could be something I prefer over this, and this is something I could prefer over Hemp and Golden Amber. Overall, I think this is a better scent, a little less sweet. To me, this is more masculine, and that is why it edges over the Hemp and Golden Amber at number 7. At number 6, Distiller's Blend. So this one was actually a lot lower on my list in the previous listing, but I've really gotten to appreciate this one and its note breakdown over time. I was going at it, pretty harsh because I was saying the citrus was too dominant, and although that is what you get throughout the first and middle half of the scent, towards the end is when this thing really starts to shine. When you really start to get the reason behind why it's called Distiller's Blend. You start to get those boozy notes with the powderiness. You get this grassy, woodsy vetiver note that pops through with the bright freshness of the citrus coming through as well. And that boozy note from some sort of like bourbon or cognac. I'm not sure what it is. I wouldn't say it's a rum of sorts, but I'd say it's kind of like within like a bourbon-like category. It does have a bit of like a citronella kind of vibe with that bourbon, the grassy vetiver again. There's a bit of a powderiness. This is just a man's man scent. This is a man's man scent. And for me, it comes in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, Palo Santo. So in my previous list, this thing was a lot lower, so I actually am glad that I came back to this. I've bought the body wash version of the Palo Santo, which I do like a lot, and I think is slightly better, but this one is very unique to me because it does have the earthiness from the cardamom, but it has a little bit of a smokiness and woodiness from the Palo Santo, a little bit of a fruity, dry note from the papyrus, a little bit of a fresh green note as well. This one is just very mature, very masculine, and it's Cremo's version of Santal 33. And this has very good projection, longevity, and the sillage from this thing is amazing. This scent and the next 4 from here on out are ones I would recommend in terms of longevity as well, because these next ones last a very long time. Coming in at number 4, Blue Cedar and Cypress. So this is like a very old school, masculine type of scent. It kind of reminds me of Drakkar Noir if you were to get rid of the spices, add a woodsy back base, and a sharp, fresh lemon in the beginning. That is what you get here. You get a sharp, fresh lemon. You get that acidic-like, barbershop-y, aftershave component to it. There's a lot of woodiness in here, a lot. You do get both the cedar and the cypress. And of all the ones they have released, I'd say this is probably the most woody one. But yeah, this is just kind of very old school. It does kind of have like this aftershave, kind of shaving cream like smell to it, which I really do like. It does kind of remind me of a barbershop fragrance, much like a Drakkar Noir, but without the spices, more woodsy, more citrusy, and this one is a safe dumb reach. Coming in at number 3, Silver, Water, and Birch. I really like this one because it's, to me, very fresh and clean and soapy, and it really, to me, just perfectly embodies a springtime scent. It's not too blue, it's not too green, it's right in the middle, and you do get a lot of fresh blue-green notes from this. To me, it's a beautiful recreation of Creed's Silver Mountain Water. And I'll admit, I do like Cremo's body wash version of the Silver, Water, and Birch just a little bit more, but what you get from here is just a super fresh and clean, aquatic, that has some inky, metallic-like notes in there. And you just get a lot of like this floral, resinous sweetness. But to me, this one is just a super fresh reach. I like it because this scent put the Cremo craze on the map for me. And if it were not for this one scent that I tried to look for, I would have probably never even have known that Cremo made fragrances. I, at the time, only knew they made body washes, which I do love a lot. But this is also an exceptional version as a cologne. It smells fairly similar. Just a few slight tweaks here and there. At number 2, Spice and Black Vanilla. So this is Cremo's version of Spice Bomb. I believe in the first video I never even owned a Spice Bomb fragrance because I was so new to fragrancing. But now that I've had some time to compare the two, I can tell you that this is definitely what that's trying to be. But I feel like this is a slightly sweeter version than the normal Spice Bomb. This is a more sweeter take, more caramelized, more toffee-esque. I feel like this is more of a gourmand version, but you still do get those spices. Don't think they're not there. You get hit in the face right away with this like cinnamon clove star anise combo that to me just really, really complements all that sweetness. You get this little bit of like pepperiness that helps kind of balance that and contrast it as well. There's this earthy cardamom that just pops through, giving it a nice fresh green note. And as you can see, I put a little bit of a dent into this one, and this is not my first bottle. I've gotten many, many, many compliments on this one. And I'd say between the last 5 that I've mentioned, they're just wonderful on projection and longevity. But the top 3 are the best with that. And they smell the best, personally, according to me. But yeah, this is their version of Spice Bomb, and they did it so well. It's a very fresh, sweet, gourmand-like fragrance, and you will like it. You will like it. It's a safe reach. If you like Spice Bomb, you will like this. And at the number 1 spot, Vintage Suede. So this was number 1 in my previous listing, and it still is to this day. I just love, love, love how smooth this leather is. You know, you do have some people who say it's a bit synthetic, and I can see, you know, why they would not like it. It's very, like, very, very, very heavy. But then again, this is one that's going to garnish you a lot of compliments. Personally, I love that fruitiness from the fig mixed with the suede note. It kind of gives it this, like, ozonic quality because of just how smooth and light this leather fragrance is. And then you add this white musk, which kind of helps give it a little bit of like a powdery kind of vibe. But that's good because I feel like that's what's kind of getting rid of the animalic smell of a leather or a suede leather. I think the white musk and the fruity combo is kind of getting rid of that animalic side of it. And you're just left with this fruity, sweet, daring leather smell. It's just very daring. And this one, to me, if you were to hand me this one and hand me every other fragrance Cremo has made, and you were to tell me that one of these fragrances is a niche one, I would think that this right here is the niche fragrance from Cremo. It literally smells like high quality. It doesn't smell cheap at all. And I mean, this thing is very, very cheap, so you can keep buying it over and over again. And honestly, it's gotten me a lot of compliments, a lot of compliments. And so it almost also has this like lactonic, like milkiness to it. It's just so smooth of a leather. Yeah, it's just so smooth, and I love that sweet fruitiness. It's going to come off as synthetic to some, but to me, it just smells the highest of high quality. Compared to all the other ones that I've gotten to smell, I don't know. I'd have to say this is the best one. But let me know what your Cremo ranking looked like from 1 to 17, or how many you have. I have all of them, besides a couple discontinued ones like the red Distiller's blend, and then also the, I think it was called Leather and Oud or something from Cremo. I'm not really sure what it was, but this, yep, is my listing right here. It's definitely more accurate from the Cremo ranking I did a couple of years ago. That's why I definitely wanted to redo this all over again and just re-rank everything, because my nose has matured over time. And, you know, I even said that in the previous video. I said that, you know, some of the scents I ranked lower probably weren't bad scents. I just had to grow into it. And that definitely was the case, because Palo Santo was very low. It was like at number 10, and then it jumped all the way to like number 5. So yeah, definitely needed a re-ranking, and it was fun. It was fun. I had fun. But yeah, this will be like the last Cremo video I do, unless they make a new release maybe. But as far as Cremo goes, I've really just covered their whole house, covered all their scents, and I can accurately and safely sleep now knowing that I've re-ranked it all, and now I can go to bed easy at night knowing that it's an accurate list, right? It's an accurate list. I've smelt all of them, and you cannot persuade my vote. Don't let anybody persuade your vote either, because fragrance is subjective. There's no point in trying to seek validation, asking people, oh, do you like my cologne collection? Do you like my cologne collection? Do you like my cologne collection? It doesn't matter. Do it all based on what you like, not what other people like. Because then you'll find yourself with a lot of versions of things that you don't like. Because you were trying to base it all off of somebody else's opinion. You never want to do that. Buy your own stuff, be your own person, break free, and you will be a better person in the end. Start thinking for yourself, and you'll see the changes. So, thank you all for watching this video, liking, sharing, subscribing. If you don't do that, that's fine as well. You know, any sort of engagement, whether it's just view time, helps this channel out. So whatever you do, drop a like, drop some view time, it doesn't matter. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.